5:30. I'm calling to order this is a special meeting of the Redevelopment Authority Citizens Committee. And if you would take the roll call, please.
Chair Hanneman.
Here.
Vice Chair Cardinal.
Here.
Member Barrett. Here. Member Bowden. Member Bowden. Oh, here. Member Bolentini-Wolf. Member Smith.
Here.
A quorum's present.
Okay. All right. At this time, I would like to call for any public comment. So if anybody has any public comment. Desi, is there anybody on the line for public comment?
I see no public comment, Madam Chair.
Okay, then. Number 3, the approval of the minutes of our recent meeting of June 1. Does anybody have any corrections or deletions or any comments on that at all? If not, I'll entertain a motion. Thank you. A motion for approval of the minutes, if someone would like to do that.
Madam Chair, so move.
All right, second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any negative? Okay, hearing none. The minutes are approved as written. Thank you so much. We have just one basic agenda item tonight, and that is for possible action, discussion regarding the expenditure of up to $25,000 for the Facade Improvement Program Fund for the building located at 418 South Carson Street, known today as the Bank Saloon, which was the former name. And for those of you who do not know the Bank Saloon, it was affectionately known as Jack's Bar in the past. That is within Redevelopment Area 1. And Lee, if you would take us through this, please.
Thank you. For the record, Lee Plemmel, Community Development Director. Yeah, just briefly to go over this application for anybody watching. The city does have a redevelopment facade improvement program for non-residential properties within the district. It's budgeted at $50,000 per year for up to $25,000 per property at a 50% reimbursement for facade improvements to non-residential buildings in the district. For the current fiscal year budget, this is actually the first application we received. So there's funds in this year's budget available that we'll use for this and have a full $50,000 in the next fiscal year and still not use all of this year's funding. So that'll roll forward into undesignated. But yeah, as you mentioned, you covered it. I think I don't have a presentation. Everybody knows this building very well. You know what it looked like in the past. The applicant who's here, Aaron West, representing the applicant today, I'm sure is happy to tell you more about the project. But they've been working on this for a number of years. I spoke with Aaron. I think I had it marked down back in November about doing this. They've been to the Historic Resource Commission on facade improvements, and kind of the plans have changed a little bit over the last few months, but they're moving forward, have saved some windows, saving the historic character, saving the exterior of the building. And I just want to note that the project is not just the amount in the application. I think that's just the exterior facade improvement he's talking about. They are obviously spending much more money than that on the project in general. This is the type of help I think the program was intended for, to help people invest into these vacant buildings. And if you have any questions on the application from staff, I'm happy to help. And then, as I mentioned, Aaron West from the Builders Alliance, the Nevada Builders Alliance, is here if you have any questions on the application as well.
Okay, Aaron, would you like to, I mean, we all have looked at the application, but you want to give us the highlights?
No, so for the record, Aaron West, CEO of the Nevada Builders Alliance, thank you for the opportunity, and really appreciate you guys going out of your way to have the meeting and discuss the application. As Lee indicated, we've been aware of the program for a while. We started talking with them probably a couple of years ago about how we would qualify. I do apologize for kind of the timing of it, in that because it was the structural rehabilitation of the building was a very dynamic situation. And so really until we got on site, we're able to do the structural slab, do the entire structural diaphragm within the rock walls and get everything stabilized, then that dictated what how we move forward with the front facade improvements. And we've gone through a lot of iterations, and I really appreciate the collaborative nature with the Historic Resource Commission. And as we've looked at, do we replace the windows? Do we rebuild the windows? Do we, what's that storefront look like? And going through all the research to come up with something that is period correct and, will really reflect Carson's history as we go forward. So we're really excited about the project. We are on schedule. We should be done about October 1. Hopefully we'll be making an announcement on an operator here soon. And then we can kick this thing off and have some fun.
Does anybody have any questions at all regarding this application? Because I have checked, and I'm sure you all have received this resolution number 2018-RA-R-2, and it basically meets all the qualifications set forth. So is there any discussion on this at all? Okay, seeing and hearing no discussion, I guess we are up for a vote. So I will take a motion to approve the expenditure of $25,000. Who would like to make that motion, please? Okay.
Okay. I move to approve the expenditure of $25,000 for the Facade Improvement Program Fund for facade improvements to the building located on 418 South Carson Street, known as the Bank Saloon building within redevelopment area number 1.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any dissent? Hearing none. Aaron, it looks great. I went by there yesterday, and it looks as sturdy as it's ever going to look, beautifully appointed and the whole bit, so it should last at least another 150 years, I would think. So looking forward to receiving the invitation on October 1 for the grand opening. Right, guys? Yeah. Okay. All right, enjoy. And thank you so much on behalf of the Carson City residents, I would believe, for taking a very blighted property and making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. So thank you so much, Aaron. All right, so going on to number 5, staff reports and updates on matters relating to RACC. Lee?
Yeah, I will just mention a couple things. Well, first of all, thank you for scheduling, and this is a special meeting for the applications because we meet quarterly, and sometimes the buildings come along in between, and in fact, I might have another one coming in for July for a meeting for a facade improvement of the Chateau Bliss. And if I get that, I'll reach out to everybody again and try to schedule a meeting. The first Monday meeting date, which we have reserved, is right after 4th of July. We'll see if we get it by then, first of all, and if that works out. Nobody's going anywhere anyway. We're not having fireworks, unfortunately, on July 4th.
Lee, before you go on, can I ask and we have $25,000 left from the fiscal year 1920 budget. What happens to the extra $25,000? Does it roll over?
Yeah, and that brings me to my only other comment I was going to make is that, you saw the budget last time, and there was about $80,000 of known undesignated that's going into next year. I wanted to report that they're done with the aquatic center pool resurfacing. They were allocated $50,000 for that initially, but rather than contract it out, they did it in-house with materials only and saved about $43,000. So that much is going to roll forward, which puts us to, and then the other $25,000 remaining from facade improvement puts us at about $150,000 now, undesignated right now. Going into that following year, it's $500,000. Going into the years after that, it's over $1 million. And it's on the board's, it's on the city manager's to-do list from the Board of Supervisors to go get back with the board on a strategy to prioritize what types of expenditures, to come up with the plan. I know we do the planning, but to really prioritize the types of plans that we want to spend redevelopment funds on. $150,000 is a lot of money, but when you start doing street improvements, sidewalk improvements, it doesn't, that much actually doesn't cover a lot of area. But when you start putting it together with future years, maybe you got some projects there. But we'll have more discussions this year on the policies and priorities for undesignated funds. And that's all I have.
Okay, any future agenda items from the board for our next meeting, July or not? Nothing? Okay.
And if there's no meeting in July, the next regular meeting's the first Monday in August.
Okay. All right, and then does any member of the RACC have any reports or comments? This is going to be a very fast meeting tonight, which is great. Okay, so without further ado, Desi, do we have any public comments at all?
There is no public comment, Madam Chair.
All right, seeing that there's no, and hearing there's no public comment. Number 7 is possible action adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, thank you all for coming tonight, and the meeting of RACC is adjourned.